Okay, can everyone please put their books under their desk? Silent reading is over. Arms folded, sit up straight.
Tim is a 9-year-old boy in grade 4. He lives with his mum, dad and his 15-year-old brother. He loves reading books and watching movies. Tim is a competent student who is very attentive in class, but his teacher is a little concerned about his behaviour.
So we grab the reader's attention. Okay, Tim, what do you think would be the next thing that we would need to write in an exposition? What kinds of things would you put after you'd written an interesting title? Where would you go from there?
I don't know.
Okay, does anyone think they can help Tim out? Georgia?
Well, we need to talk cats and dogs.
I've got a good idea. How about cats and dogs?
But
And what one? Dogs or cats?
No, cats.
Goldfish?
No, goldfish. No, cats are better.
Dogs are
No, but cats are things.
And cats also, yeah, and they chase birds and kill them. And dogs
No, that's... I'm not invisible, you know!
Tim, what's wrong?
They won't let me say anything.
Okay, well, we don't need to yell. What should we be doing as a table?
We should work together.
We should be working together and taking turns to speak. What would you like to say, Tim?
I want to do it about cats and dogs, but they're...
Thanks for coming and talking to me. I appreciate it. I just wanted to talk to you about why you got so angry before. I'm just wondering if I can talk to you quickly about Tim Smythe in my room.
Yes, sure. I know Tim.
Oh, good. Okay. How is he behaved in library for you?
Well, I've noticed him at lunchtime. He's in here most days, and obviously an avid reader. He sits over there on his own and just reads away. And he's reading books which are high school type books. So I always just have a little chat with him, and we just have a little conversation about what he's reading. Yeah, make all the kids feel okay.
Okay, great. He's doing some wonderful things in class. His writing's fantastic. I'm just a little concerned. I think he's having some difficulties with socialisation. Yeah. So you haven't noticed him talking to any other kids much in here at all?
Yeah, you're right. I haven't actually. He's actually just sits on his own. And I have at one point, I did ask him, why don't you go and join the other kids? But he just would rather sit on his own. So... Okay. Yeah, but I can keep my eye on that for you and let you know if I see anything else.
If we can, both just keep our eye on it, and we'll keep in touch and see if anything.
I'll see you in the next few days.
Yeah.
If I notice something.
Thanks,
okay.
Deb.
Ciao.
Bye. Good mix in the class of personality.
Tim's teacher decides to consult with a senior colleague about her concerns.
He seems to be withdrawn though in the playground. I can't tell that he's playing with many people. Whenever I go to the classroom, he's not. He's by himself. Is that okay, or is that something I should kind of be worried about?
I find that a bit of a worry, really. I mean, it's been 6 weeks. You'd think you'd have made some friends.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that he's doing? Anything else you've noticed that might be...
Well,
add to that?
actually, today I noticed that he's really particular about his work, and he's really quite neat, and he's really upset if he makes mistakes. He gets really worked up about it.
After some discussion, the senior colleague is concerned that Tim is experiencing difficulties both in the way he's getting along with his peers and how easily he gets upset with his classwork and has been for 6 weeks. She suggests that an initial conversation with Tim's parents might be helpful in gathering more information about what's going on for Tim.
Oh, thanks, Christine. Thanks for coming in, Mr. and Mrs. Smythe. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy people. So what I just wanted to talk to you about first is that Tim's actually doing really well in his schoolwork. He's trying really hard.
That's good.
He's looking to do the best that he can.
Tim's teacher already has a good relationship with his parents, but makes sure to set the scene for the conversation. She gives Tim's parents a chance to say how they think Tim's been faring lately, before making a professional judgment that Tim's parents would be receptive to hearing her concerns for Tim.
What I wanted to talk about though also is that he's having some difficulties in group work. So when he's working with other children in the classroom, he's actually finding it difficult if he doesn't get his own way in how to express himself. We've had a couple of outbursts lately with like pencil throwing and pencil case throwing onto the floor and yelling.
No one's doing that.
Right, sounds serious, yeah.
Yeah, so is there anything that's maybe changed at home recently or in his life recently that might be bringing on this?
Well, nothing's really changed, but we have been concerned for a while that he's not really willing to mix with other kids and socialise. He'd rather spend time alone in his room on the computer or reading, and that's been a worry for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, he's always been a bit of a loner. He likes his own company, and that's him.
He's always been shy.
But there's been times at home where I'm having conflict with him when I'm asking him to do things.
Right, okay.
That sort of a bit of a warning or something sounds familiar there about
Right.
that.
So looking at the social side of things, is he playing any sport on the weekend where he could, interact with other children his age?
You'd really like him to.
Yeah, no, he's not. he's not a sporty boy.
Right.
I'd love him to play sport, and I think it would be really good for him.
But we work long hours and most Saturdays, and it's really hard for us to get him there.
I can understand that, yeah.
Besides that, he just doesn't want to do it. He's not into it. It's not his thing. He'd rather be in his room reading, on the internet, on his computer.
Okay. Well, look, what I wanted to do here is open up communication between the both of you and the school and then look and see if we can find any issues or how we can actually help Tim to move out of this situation so we don't have these outbursts. I'd really like to keep communicating with you on these things and see if we can get to the bottom of it and move forward.
We'd like that and appreciate that too, yeah.
So, okay. Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks for coming in.
When we developed the Tim case study, we didn't give you all of the information. And we deliberately did that because we know that as teachers, you're not in a place to be making decisions about whether or not Tim has a mental health difficulty. You're very well placed to be gathering information, to be observing and to be able to document that in the chart that can then be used to help make some of those decisions about whether or not there is a concern, whether it's something that you need to talk with family and to go down the referral pathway to get a mental health professional involved. When you have a look at the chart that you've been filling out, have a look to see whether or not you've been filling out behaviours that you can see, things that you can hear, or whether you were tempted to go off into some judgments, whether you were starting to make some decisions around whether or not there was a family problem or whether or not there was something else going on. The aim of the observation tool is to gather the information and to keep all options open, to not start to narrow that down, but to really try and get a sense of all of the possible things that could be going on for Tim.